Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another video. 8 a.m. on the 20th of February here in Australia. Hope you're all doing well. We'll do a quick market recap. We'll look at some of the trades that we've been taking this past few days and just see an update on whether they're worth holding, whether they're worth de-risking a little bit, or what's happening across the market. We'll touch on obviously some trending topics like altcoin season, like strength of alts compared to Bitcoin, all those sorts of things. And then I'll briefly touch on OpenSea as well right at the end. So if you do enjoy this content, smash the like, smash the sub, and check out GTG down below and join one of the most consistent educational and trading communities worldwide. We've been nothing but profitable since 2023 in all market conditions. All right, guys, USD dominance, we're going to start here. Now, basically, really, the takeaway here is until I start to see this really slow down in terms of this breakout here, I would argue that we're probably not going to see a stronger rally until that occurs, right? So for me, it looks like we're probably going to at least probably push a little bit higher later into the year. Once we start to slow down, I am very curious to see what happens in the similar sort of range that we topped last cycle. If we have a look, we're currently close to that. Now, if you do look historically, we do see USDT dominance go up consequently in following years, right? So for me, I would expect this to probably go maybe towards the 11% mark in the coming months. And that's probably the sign where I start to see real good value on crypto assets and maybe other assets too. It just depends on what happens macroeconomically. So for me, this is a big chart for me. Okay, whenever this goes up, whenever USDT dominance goes up, basically it's a bear market. Anytime it goes down, okay, it's literally a bull market. Okay, so if you look at time, okay, from this end of 21, okay, to the end of 2022 was pretty much a bear market for everything. Okay, in crypto, you obviously are going to have relief rallies. You're obviously going to have the odd altcoin outperformance. Like Matic went pretty crazy in the bear market last time. We saw Mog and Pepe launch around the bear market. So there is going to be great opportunities in the months ahead. But historically, you want to see this trending down, okay? And as you can see here, from the start of 23 all the way to the end of 2025, we saw a corrective move on USDT dominance, and that really shows us that we have a bull market kind of taking place. And more recently, since the end of 2025, basically since about October 10, okay, we've seen this breakout higher. So moving on to the next topic, altcoins only. Now, this is arguably the most important chart. Everyone likes to use total 3, total crypto market cap, or total 2. This one is the best because it's relative to the conditions of all altcoins. It does not include stablecoins. It does not include Bitcoin. It does not include Ethereum. Okay, and that is, in my opinion, the best interpretation of whether an altcoin season will ever occur. Now, I put a tweet up yesterday saying that I don't think on a full-blown altcoin season will ever occur again. Why do I say that? Okay, well, 2017, we saw relativity outperform against the rest of the market, okay? Because there was just less tokens back in these days. So naturally, it meant that altcoins were worth more compared to Bitcoin or compared to Ethereum, all right? In 2021, it was actually a lower high, again, confirming that even though we saw AVAX, we saw Solana, we saw like so much, all right? Like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, BNB, we saw all of them go absolutely crazy in this period of time here, and it was very much a nice sort of 4x, right? What we noticed is that it was still a lower high, and relative to 2017 was actually a lower market cap representation of altcoins across crypto. Fast forward to 2024, 2025, the only time we actually had a fake out and a potential breakout was during the meme coin super cycle in late 2024 when TikTok was going crazy with meme coins. This was actually before Trump launched his meme coin. This is at the heights pretty much of when Pepe was at 11, 12 billion, when Mog was at 1.5 billion, all these sorts of things, okay? But the main takeaway here is look at the drop off, okay? Look at the high drop off. We didn't even get above the 0.45 mark, okay? That is a decline, okay, from the last cycle of 50%, okay? Again, confirming another lower high of all altcoins over the last couple of years. So what we've really noticed here is the narrative, and over time is that over the last 8 years, it's very much showing me that everything is going down against Bitcoin. Everything is not really holding up against Ethereum either. And when you exclude stables from a lot of these other total charts, you start to get the real picture that the altcoins are really never really going to come back. Now, let me just refine a couple of points here. You will always have strong altcoin outperformances, okay? Hyperliquid, a great example. Solana, a great example. Radium, a great example this cycle. Last cycle, it was DeFi. It was Uniswap, for example, okay? PancakeSwap went crazy. BNB went crazy. You will always have outperforming tokens, And it's about capturing that, like we have in GTG for many years now, capturing those trends, but then taking profit when it feels like they could go even crazier, when the euphoria hits you, when they have done a multiple X like Solana did. It outperformed Ethereum about 8x. It outperformed Bitcoin by about 3 to 5x, guys. So capture those trends, take profits, but rotate them back either into Bitcoin, because as you can see here, Bitcoin outperforms everything, or rotate it back to cash or to stables, okay? Because that is really the rotation method. But I would argue that this trend continues. Sure, we could get a breakout. Okay, we could get a breakout, but I would say that's going to be another lower high, okay, and very much continuation of this trend towards 2029. And this is a big reason I do not hold any altcoins right now and am not interested in any altcoins. Now, as I said, there will come a time later in 2026 where we have great opportunities where Bitcoin starts to show us that it is keen, okay, to consolidate, okay? So if we come and have a look and do something like this, where it shows me that prices and sellers are exhausted, okay? When it shows me that it's time to reaccumulate and start thinking outside of just Bitcoin, okay? Those are the opportunities that I'm looking for, and that's the exercise of patience and time and understanding over my 9 years experience that this takes time to play out. A bear market corrective period takes a long time to play out, okay? And if we have a look historically, like this one, okay, took years and years to play out, this bear market in 2018 through to 2020. This one was a lot more fast, okay, in terms of time, okay? We spent June 2022, we actually broke out that lower time frame range in March 2023, so it was about a 9-month period, but we didn't technically break out of this larger area until October 2023. So it was around about just shy of 18 months, so about 15 months of consolidation pattern. That is literally what I would love to see Bitcoin do. Is it going to do it here? Is it going to have one step lower and do it here for a long period of time? I don't think we're going to go as long as we've seen in previous cycles, particularly on Bitcoin. The interest from an institutional level is way too high. But I do think that we will spend time, okay? That charts need to reset. And if we, again, confirm higher time frames, the monthly still has a long way to go. We're in it, the 50th percentile. Once that gets close to the 20th percentile, I get very interested in pretty aggressively accumulating Bitcoin and then looking for stuff like maybe Hyperliquid or maybe something else like Jupiter or Tau if the AI narrative's going well, okay? Those are the altcoins I'll be checking out once I see Bitcoin start to show me an actual bottom. All right, moving on to others as well. So others is a great example of, this is market cap as well, not dominance. So this is showing you that right now, others, so all tokens outside the top 10, that includes Hyperliquid, is at 171 billion. Now, what we are seeing here, I mean, I should change this color so it's a little bit easier to see. What we're seeing here is actually a bearish head and shoulders pattern play out, okay? And it has pretty much, unless, like, look, it needs to lose this level, okay, at about the $162 billion mark for this to actually come to fruition. Otherwise, it's probably going to maybe bounce from here and we might get that relief rally later this year in 2026. So this is a bearish pattern, but it obviously can be negated if it can hold this sort of support line that it's been holding since December 2023. But this is just, again, another reminder that the market is weak, okay? Altcoins are even weaker than Bitcoin. And sure enough, it looks like this could play out a little bit lower, but we'll keep an eye on this chart over the coming months. To further compound that story, okay? If we were so bullish on altcoins, we would see this chart literally go down, okay? What we've seen is this has consolidated at the same percentage literally since August last year. And if anything, it's actually held this range between 56.6% and 66% literally since September 2024. So that's nearly 2 years. It's about 18-ish months of price action. Literally of Bitcoin dominance holding exactly the same sort of levels, okay, or exactly the same range. So for me, this further compounds that people would rather sell their altcoins than their Bitcoin, okay? Sure, let's dive a little bit deeper, okay? A different story when it comes to Ethereum. Ethereum rejecting from the 0.5 level of the previous 2019 low to the current sort of equal tops from 2018 to 2021 to 2023. This is showing you a different story. It's rejecting from the key level of the 0.5 of this range, okay? Further compound that with Solana. Solana losing its key range for the first time since March 2024 as well. Again, it's pretty obvious, guys. Altcoins are not the place to be. And don't forget, okay, a lot of things are down already 80%, 60%. They can still go down another 80, 60%. So there's no, like, honestly, like, you will lose money if you keep holding on to these altcoins as they go down, okay? The key is actively trading and actively having an invalidation, which we are stressing so much in GTG and have done that for multiple years now. And it's very much embedded in our new framework course, our beginner pathway that I've just launched as well. So if you aren't in the community, if you want a guide, okay, to learn how I've executed now for 9 years in this industry and changed my life, okay, I've started to build that out with the GTG framework and the beginner pathway. So check that one out as well. All right, moving on to our current trades. What we have here is the Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm currently long Bitcoin. I want to see this breakout. It's a really like this current 4-hour candle has broken out against the trend, but we haven't seen a lot of volume or a lot of strength come in just yet. Where's volume? Volume. Did I get rid of volume? There it is. No, I haven't seen a lot of volume come in yet, so I want to see some volume come in and take this back up at least to the sort of golden pocket is kind of what I would love to see. If not, yeah, we'll maybe we get a chance to buy it down here. So I do have an order down at 65.1-ish as my last sort of bid to potentially get this if we do sweep down here. Ideally, we don't sweep that, okay? I would much rather we don't sweep this, and this is our low currently. And I mean, you could say that we have swept this low here overnight, which is great to see. So potentially we could get that breakout higher later today. And the 4-hour has room here higher. We're just above the pivot as well. So there is a little bit of room here higher. The 12-hour similar is coming down, but we're still below the pivot. So maybe it needs a little bit more consolidation here before we move up. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm taking this more as a 4-hour trade. Again, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive with your stop loss, you could probably move it up to this low now, because that is the sweep of that low there, which ideally you would see this move higher. So you could probably move your stop loss up to around 65.5, and that would reduce your risk to the downside and increase your potential R&R to the upside if you wanted to do that on Bitcoin specifically. I still like this move. A little bit of a risky move considering the macro environment right now, considering there's a few events like with politics as well. But yeah, I don't mind this trade for a particular scalp swing trade back towards the range high, and which actually aligns, if I zoom out a little bit, to the 0.5 of the range as well, back towards this level at 70.9. So I'd love to actually see that happen, and I do think it could happen in the coming days. If it doesn't start to happen until the weekend, I might get a little bit more nervous that we get a little bit of a pump on Saturday, and then we probably dump like we have been for a long time on Sunday/Monday, depending where you are around the world. That has been a very similar pattern for a long time now. Monday dumps. All right, Ethereum as well. Not showing as much strength as Bitcoin here on the daily. As you can see, we are, if I just show you, it is moving up a lot above 1980. So we're probably not going to close above that, maybe per se. So I am keeping an eye on Ethereum as well. Ethereum also coming down below 1980 on the 12-hour, but the 4-hour still looks okay here, okay? You're coming down here. It's got to hold above 1955 in the coming hours. I don't mind this chart, okay? It hasn't swept its lows like Bitcoin has, but it's holding up relatively okay here. We've got a looser stop loss here, and we're still targeting up towards this 4-hour and this 1-day FVG up here. So back towards the golden pocket, which actually aligns with a bit of liquidity from over here, and also the lows that we set way back in November as well. So I don't mind this trade. You got to take risks when trading. Okay, does this play out? We'll have to wait and see what happens sort of later today. So just staying patient with this trade setup right now. But yeah, low risk, okay, low leverage for me on both these trades because they're not great setups, okay, across Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that's why it's a low risk, so less than 1% and low leverage as well. All right, our other trade, Pippin, I have taken not majority, I've taken about 50% profit so far at our first TP at 0.53, and then took some more profits as well, obviously at the 465. I have moved my stop loss to, I think it was, let me check the Discord. I have moved my stop loss to, where did I say? To 615, okay, and the reason for that is because this is where price showed us here that it came up here, rejected. So my stop loss says basically if price was to trade above 615 again, okay, so above those highs, then that would be a change of structure and we would likely come back and retest this level. So that's where my stop loss is, protecting some profits from this move initially. All right, from here, really nice trade. And ideally, we calm down and hit some of these levels, but it does depend on what the rest of the market is going to do with Pippin. But yeah, really nice trade. Happy with this. Again, I went really low leverage, and leverage is a tool, and we educate about that within the GTG community. All right, the last trade I'm still in is Astar. Now, this one is, I have de-risked a little bit as of this morning, just purely because of the strength here. This is distribution above this high on the 12-hour. However, it looks like it wants to probably break a little bit higher here, particularly if BTC and ETH want to do that as well. It was holding its yearly open. It's holding its Monday low. So for me, the key level would be watching what it does at the 0.75, okay? Like it rejected from here over the past few 12-hour closes, okay, since basically Tuesday night on at 10 p.m. my time. But what we're seeing is, yeah, if it breaks above this level, I probably will de-risk quite a lot of this trade and probably look to close it. Okay, but I'll keep an eye on this. This is on a closing basis. Okay, a closing candle, a closing 12-hour candle above the 7.5, so basically above 0.72, would probably negate me this on this short, and I'd probably be keen to de-risk this. And I do think that this could break out a little bit higher. Now, again, we could look for a re-entry on this if it's just sweeping, whether it sweeps these highs, whether it sweeps all of these highs in here. Okay, we'll just have to keep an eye on what price action does on this as well. But it looks like it's quite strong here. So I have de-risked already a little bit, about 50% of the trade. And I would probably de-risk completely if it does start to close the 12-hour candle above the 7.2 level. All right. Last idea is Hyperliquid. Okay, like I spoke about on Tuesday's show, I said if it can hold this level, okay, we have seen historically that over the past sort of couple of weeks, it's held this level really nicely, multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times now that we have swept below, grab this liquidity that's been sitting under here, all right, and we actually have reclaimed this. So I'll be keeping an eye on this daily candle, and potentially this could be a nice little setup as well, where you get a little long here. Ideally, you're not getting the entry at the 618, but your stop loss would be below the wick, okay, and you'd be targeting back towards this 34 level as well. Potentially, you would take profit into the monthly open at around 30.9. You'd also obviously draw your fib from the top to the current swing low, okay, and these would also be your targets. So the 382 at 31.79 and the 0.5 at 33.07 would probably be my targets. But there's confluence here as well from this high, okay, to this current low that at the 0.5 level of the entire range also aligns with the fib of the 34.35 area. So that would be my sort of take profit target for this trade. So hopefully we'll get this. I'll be keeping an eye on the daily close, and then I'm pretty keen to probably enter this trade in the coming hours. So I'll keep an eye on that. That's a risk to reward of 3.56. So really good for Hyperliquid if you can get this move higher. In terms of spot, still staying patient. I still think that we come down into this region, probably retest in the yearly open down here at about 25, which is also a daily FVG. As you can see here, the wick from that wick to this wick here, big imbalance there. If we obviously lose that level, which is also in alignment and in confluence with the 6.6, then I do think we do come and retest this weekly order block down here. Okay. And that is, in my opinion, that's where I start to get really interested in spot accumulation for Hyperliquid. Okay. So those are the trade setups that I like, and trade updates across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pippin, Astar, and Hyperliquid. Last one is OpenSea had their Wave 5 rewards. Rumor has it that they have announced that March 30th, which is actually my birthday, they are coming out and doing an announcement on March 30th, which leaves one day in Q1 for them to launch their TG. They have, in 2025 announced that they will launch their token, their TG in Q1 2026. So this is likely, I hope, the last wave that we see for OpenSea, because they've farmed us to the absolute slaughterhouse over the past year. It's been literally over a year since they announced that they were going to TGE, and we're very much in a bear market now. So will they launch their token in these conditions? We'll have to wait and see. That would be going against their word if they didn't, but we'll just have to keep an eye on this over time. So again, I got Wave 5 in the last one. So, I hope I walk away with at least 10 grand to 20 grand minimum is ideally what I'm hoping for from my OpenSea airdrop. So don't forget, this 39 days, there you go. Okay, so literally to the end of March, this one is likely the last wave that we will see unless they come out and announce something different and waiting for better market conditions. So guys, if you enjoy what you saw, check out GTG down below, gtg.education. We've just launched GTG Lite, which gives you a really short tease for just $5 to enter our ecosystem. But highly recommend that most Lite members have already joined Premium, okay, because Premium gives you access to these live streams time sensitively. It gives you access to my other traders in the community. It gives you access to the traders, gives them access to the analysis, the educational material, and to the beginner learning path, which we've been building out very much so over the last few days. So highly recommend checking out GTG down below if you want a community who are consistent, who are here in a bear market, and who are winning in a bear market. That's literally what we do inside GTG. So check it out down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. If you like this content, like and subscribe. And guys, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.